I have fixed hundreds of Synology NASs in the last couple of years, and today I'm going to be showing you how to diagnose and fix the DS415 Plus. Now this unit I purchased on eBay in a as-is for parts condition, so let's plug it in, see what's going on, and fix it. As you can see from the sticker on the side, it does say defective Synology, no PSU, as is. So we'll go ahead and plug it in. They did not provide a power supply as mentioned, so this is ours, and it's a known working one. But if you have a no power fault, that very well could be the issue. And I just pressed the power button, the blue light is blinking, and my fans are spinning. I can feel the wind here. Now, if the unit was completely dead, I did not have a blue light blinking, then I would definitely suspect my power supply, my brick, as being the issue. Or there is one item inside of the unit that could be defective, and that's the CMOS battery. So if you have a completely dead CMOS, that can sometimes cause these types of issues. So we're gonna wait just a few minutes to see if it boots. And I do have my green status light, and I just heard it beep. So it does sound like it initialized and is probably working as it should, but let's still open it up and see what's going on inside. I have 2 screws on the back, and we're gonna and we have to try and clear the tray area here. There we go. And I guess I probably should have removed the trays first. We can do that now. I guess it doesn't really matter. Next on the back, I have 1 screw here and 1 over here. Now I should be able to wiggle this out and disconnect my fan connectors. Next part, I like to use a long screwdriver to remove the 4 screws. 4 of the screws are going to be machine screws, and 4 are going to be plastic screws, so they're going to be a little bit more coarse on the threading. Make sure to identify which is which so that you can properly reassemble. For this part next, I'm going to push away the fans and then hold down the motherboard as I wiggle off the caddy holder, the tray holder, and then we can lift the motherboard out. I just feel like it's safer to do it in 2 steps. Next, I'm going to remove our CMOS battery here, and we're going to do a quick check. This is a 3.3 volt battery. As long as it's showing at least 3 volts, we should be good. And we're getting 2.95. I don't know how close to the end of its life that CMOS battery is. This is a 2015 unit, so it is about 11 years old. And usually the lifespan of these CMOS is about 9 years or so. So it's probably near its end of life. And our replacement over here is showing a very good 3.3 volts. So if I didn't replace the original, it's possible it'd fail in the near future. Okay, I have 4 more screws to remove the metal backplate. There we go. For this next step, we're going to be switching over to the microscope. For reference, this is the CMOS battery we just replaced. And down here we have a JP2 connector. We have our DOM over here. And if we keep going, we have the J3 connector. And the label is right here, J3. We have pin 1 marked with the arrow, the triangle right here. So that's pin 1. Down here we can see the number 2. So this is pin number 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we want to pay attention to pin 6 and pin 1 because what we're going to do next is install a 100 ohm resistor between pins 1 and 6. So the reason we're doing this is because the DS415 Plus has a Atom C2000 type processor, and those are known to have a malfunction due to a bad clock signal. Installing this resistor will help prevent this fault from occurring and resolve it if it has already occurred. All right, so we're going to go ahead and solder that down. Now, this unit was working originally as we saw it initialize, so this is not a necessary repair, but if I didn't do this repair, both the CMOS battery and installing this 100 ohm resistor, it's very likely that this unit would fail very near in the future. So because we're going to be selling this as a refurbished unit on eBay, we're going to want to make sure that we perform all the repairs and replace the 2 parts that commonly fail, which is that CMOS and installing the 100 ohm resistor to ensure sure that the CPU does not fail in the near future. Now, if you're interested in sending in your Synology DS415 Plus for us to fix because you don't have soldering tools, you're not really wanting to do this type of repair, we have flat rate services which come with a 1-year warranty. Those are available on our website, which I will link in the video description down below. If you don't have a DS415 Plus and you want to buy one, we'll have this unit along with a few others available for sale on our eBay store. Whenever we sell a NAS unit on our eBay store, we also make a sizable contribution to the St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you want to support them, if you want to support us, we'll have them available there for sale. Also, I'll have a link in the description below to the listing as well. All right, let's go ahead and put the unit back together. We're going to install the plate back on first, and I'm going to put the motherboard on a little pedestal. Next, we'll put the unit back in. So we have to be careful here, properly make sure that our S-Video connector and Ethernet fit properly. Otherwise, the motherboard won't settle in correctly. There we go. So at this point, it's easier to install the coarse thread screws. Next, we can install our caddy tray. And you know what? We have a lot of dust and dirt, so let's actually blow out some of that with our blower. All right, and that looks a lot cleaner. So next, we're gonna want to line up that connector here for the backplane. Press it in. And this also clips in over here for the fans. Okay, everything looks lined up. We have our 4 machine screws. Again, we'll use our long screwdriver for these. And the screwdriver I'm using is a size 2 Phillips. Next, we have this module, which is also very dusty. So let's go ahead and blow that out too. And along with our trays, now that it's nice and clean, let's go ahead and install it. We have our 2 fans that connect here. We'll plug those in first. Okay, so next we can plug it in. And we have 1 screw on the inside here and 1 on the outside. Now there are little dimples to guide these as well so that they're lined up properly. So make sure those dimples are lined up before you tighten the screws. All right, everything looks pretty good. Next we can put the shell back on. We have to clear some of these guys over, just like that. Okay, so now we are back at this position. We want to make sure that both the bottom and the top is nice and snug, and we're going to push it forward. Oh, bottom didn't catch, the top did, so that means we have to undo it. We have to make sure that both sides, top and bottom, slide in perfectly. Okay, so let's maybe do it. It's going to be hard to do on camera. So maybe we do it halfway and halfway and finish and finish. Okay, there we go. And we'll put our last 2 screws on the back, tighten it up. We have a perfectly refurbished DS415 Plus. Let's go ahead and power it on, do one last test. And I'm also going to plug in an Ethernet cable on the back to make sure we can detect it on the network. And if we look at the back here, we do have our LAN lights are turning on, and I just heard my beep, and my status light is on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and search for our device. And it looks like it already found it, DS415 Plus. And I just switched over to our new browser page. It's saying that we're not detecting a drive. That's normal, I don't have one in there. Let's go ahead and put one in. Let's refresh. And there we go. Okay, and we're in. And that completes the full refurbishment of this DS415 Plus Synology NAS. If you found the video helpful or useful, leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.